Well, I got there today. It was interesting. It wasn't as, how would I put it? The gym itself wasn't as great as I expected. I mean, I only go to pure gyms right now, so I've learned not to expect too much. It conveniently offered each individual thing that the two that I currently go to and will continue to go to individually don't offer. Probably doesn't make the most sense, but long story short, one of the gyms I go to has a piece of equipment that I enjoy using on a regular basis and doesn't have another piece of equipment, and vice versa. And this place had both, which was cool. But the extra drive definitely isn't going to take me there very often. It would be very, very rare. Maybe on the rare occasion that I want to use both of the pieces of equipment that particular gym offers, that's the only thing that would get me there, really. It also made me realize that I don't appreciate dim lit gyms. There's something about, like, I know that some gyms, especially privately owned gyms, have very ambient lighting and very thought out lighting schemes, and that makes complete sense. They look amazing. I personally haven't had the pleasure of going to one yet. However, commercial gyms that are poorly lit, there's something extremely depressing about that shit that I can't stand. But I enjoyed today's workout. I spent this morning making yesterday's video listening to Mark Bell's Power Project with Bill Maeda. He's anyone who doesn't know, he's a Hawaiian dude. I literally only found out about him a couple of days ago. But he's a Hawaiian dude who I literally only found out about a couple of days ago after coming across a clip from the podcast itself. And I found it really interesting. His ideas, a couple of his ideas stuck with me, and they were really, really interesting. And I played with them today at the gym. One was an exercise itself, and two were philosophies. He's an older dude. He's been a personal trainer for the last 20 odd years or whatnot, and a martial arts practitioner too. And he was talking about how what led him to get to the place where he's at is that when he was younger, he realized, okay, I'm not going to be the guy lifting the most weights and whatnot, so let me be agile, let me be fast. And he alluded to being explosive. Anyway, he gained notoriety, I want to say beginning of lockdown. He jumped on socials and whatnot, and he got quite popular quite quickly due to his unconventional style of training and the unconventional movement patterns that he practices, and some of them being under load. And that really spoke to me. I've always been a fan of the weird when it comes to training. I've always been a fan of the unorthodox. I've always been drawn to that style of things, which is why I think the whole knees over toes movement and Ben Patrick just drew me in just off the bat. As soon as I saw it, I was like, wow, I feel like I've been searching for this my whole life. This idea that you can mobilize your muscles while strengthening them. Just, yeah, like I'd been craving that for a long period of time. I went through weird and wacky ideas in the gym that were uneducated. I didn't research for them or anything. I just went to the gym, trained, did my martial arts and tried to figure shit out. I done weird stuff like thinking, okay, well, when I'm at the gym, I want to squat but minimal range of motion. So I was just pin squatting for a long period of time because I was thinking, well, I don't want to put my knees under excess stress when I'm grappling every day, because grappling is quite intense on your knees, but I want them to be strong, so I'm going to use very low range of movement resistance training. And then, whilst I now know that that idea wasn't entirely aligned and wasn't the perfect way of thinking, I admire my younger self for thinking outside of the box and unorthodoxly, in an unorthodox manner, sorry. So yeah, these guys always entice me. And a couple of things that Bill mentioned on the podcast really got me, and I played with them today. So one of them he got from The Supple Leopard by Kelly Sterrett, something along those lines, which is a book that went straight on my to-read list. I looked into buying it, and I'll be real, it was like 30 quid. I was like, fuck that, I ain't buying a £30 book right now. Anyway, where was I? Yes, The Supple Leopard. And in that book, Kelly discusses the importance of keeping your facial muscles calm and keeping your facial expressions calm whilst you're training, as it communicates to the central nervous system that what you are currently experiencing is okay and it's not stressful and it's something you are capable of doing. And I heard that, and that stuck with me. I'm somebody who takes great pride in his ability to hear little nuggets like that and allow them to stick to me and change my behavior. And that was definitely something that stuck with me. And today I was very conscious of it. I was far from perfect. I mean, Bill has been probably practicing this for a long, long period of time, longer than I've been training. And he talks about how he's at a point now where if his breathing starts to deviate off of a plane of balance, I guess you could say, and if his facial expressions become too difficult to like hold and stay calm, then he'll stop the movement, he'll stop the exercise. And I'll be real, I'm too young for that shit. I ain't there yet. I ain't 53 yet. And whilst I'm very conscious of the way I move and the way I train, I ain't ready to be cutting my shit short that early. And to be fair, he does say that. He does say like, when you're young, like don't be take all this with a pinch of salt, which is exactly what I did. So I was very conscious of that, and I really enjoyed it on the dips. I really, really enjoyed it on the dips, because on the dips I combined another principle that I got from Bill today, and that was owning the movement. Well, I can't really say that I got that from Bill, because I feel like I've heard owning the movement a lot, but it was the way he spoke about it. And he didn't use the term owning the movement. He didn't use the phrase owning the movement. He spoke about how he is very aware and very in tune with all the muscles that are moving when he's doing movements, and how he likes to really focus. And look, the way I'm articulating this is abysmal. Like, you'd have to listen to Bill discuss the philosophy behind the way in which he trains, in order to get a really good grasp of it, because I'm butchering it as we speak. But there was something about the way he explained it that stuck with me. As I said, I've heard the term owning your movement so many times, and to be quite frank, whenever I hear it, I'm just like, yeah, whatever. But hearing him speak about the care that he takes in the way that he moves, I was like, fuck yeah, like, I'm trying to get me a piece of that. So on the dips, I really approached them with a lot of thought and a lot of awareness, and stayed very, very focused. And fuck me, that shit lit up my chest like nobody's business. And I developed a really nice connection and a really nice stretch in this particular dip session, because again, dips haven't been a focus of, like, any chest and pressing movement hasn't been a focus of mine for a while. And funnily enough, my grappling session the other day made me realize that I'm probably gonna pay for that. Because when you got big motherfuckers that weigh 20-30 kilos more than you, and they found a way to get in a dominant position on top of you, you're gonna regret not doing your push sessions. I'll be real, you're gonna regret that shit. And I did. So today, yes, as I was saying, I was very, very conscious. Very, very conscious. Got a really, really deep stretch on my chest and really good engagement. Like, my chest felt pumped after it. And my chest doesn't always feel pumped after dips. So that was really nice. And then the exercise that I played with was the fireman's carry. Now, the fireman's carry is something that I've never really been disciplined with independently. I used to do it at my old jiu-jitsu teacher's house. He was big on fireman carries. But it just never really spoke to me independently. I think a part of that is I've always tried to carry too much. And I think today was a perfect example of that. You'll see it in the clips. I think I'm using 34 kilos. And for my current level, like, that's too much. That's too much. So in the second set, I used some straps in order to alleviate some of the issues I was having with my grip. So yeah, I look forward to playing with these ideas, and it was an very, very interesting thing to learn. Again, if you made it this far, thank you very much. Today was more of a recap of the day's consumption and training more than anything else, which was quite nice because I was a little bit apprehensive because I didn't feel like I really had anything to talk about today. I don't feel like I had thought that much today. I feel like I've learned a fair bit, but I don't really feel like I've pondered that much. So thank you. I'll see you tomorrow.